Alright, in this scene we're going to look at how validators and modifiers can change the crafting flow. From Preflight to enqueue to live results, using only the supported public interface. Let's quickly look at the player setup in the inspector. This object has the components the panel is going to discover at runtime. We've got a simple sample level provider, 2 validators, and 2 modifiers attached here. This sample level provider is just sample scaffolding. It exposes a single level value so level based validators have something to read. It's not a progression system, and it's not persistence. Just a minimal demo source. We've also got a cooldown validator. This blocks crafting for a period after a craft is accepted. In this setup, it can work per recipe, per owner, or globally, with optional station tag filtering and per recipe overrides. Next is the level gate validator. This checks for a level source on the owner or parent chain and blocks crafting if the current level is below the configured minimum. It can use a global minimum or per recipe overrides, and it can also be filtered by station tag. For modifiers, the first one here is a simple station bonus. It can speed up crafting by applying a duration multiplier, and it can optionally add a small output bonus. Like the validators, it can also be gated by station tag, and this one adds a chance-based extra output. So instead of blocking a craft, it changes the possible result by writing a probabilistic output into the adjustment context. For this demo, I've set the chance to 1, so the bonus item will always appear. Before we start the scene, here's the teaching panel itself. This is wired to the crafting service, the owner, and the recipe we want to inspect. Alright, now let's hit play and look at the live behaviour. Now that we're in play mode, each text is off for the video just to keep the view cleaner. And like before, we'll use the fake inventory and currency tools to seed state, so the validator and modifier results are easier to see. Starting on the setup tab, we can confirm the current bindings. On the validators tab, we can see the active validator and modifier components on the owner. And on diagnostics, we've got the current pre-flight result and probe breakdown for this context. So this is our baseline before we trigger anything. Let's move to the actions tab and trigger a craft. I'll craft once, and if I try again immediately, it's blocked. That's the cooldown validator preventing another craft right away. Now let's go back to validators and disable the cooldown validator. With that turned off, we've removed that rule from the evaluation. Now, if we go back to actions, I can craft again, and immediately craft again, and again. There's no cooldown now, because that validator is no longer part of the rule set. Nothing else changed, just that one component. Also, like in the workbench scene, we can use F to trigger crafting through the gameplay setup. That goes through the actual input and zone flow, rather than calling the service directly from the panel. The panel bypasses that by design, so we can test things quickly. But both paths use the same crafting service underneath. So if I trigger crafting with F here, you can see the chance-based output being applied as part of the result. So whether we trigger it through the panel or through gameplay, the behaviour stays consistent. For the last example, I'm just going to pause and change the sample level on the player directly. This level provider is just demo scaffolding, but it gives the level gate validator something real to read. Now if we resume and try the craft again, the result is blocked with level too low. And that's the level gate validator reacting to the updated player state.